Hey, good afternoon. This is Debbie Davis. Okay, so I mean, obviously, this is this is a threat against our military. What happened here in D.C. and I mean, so this this person who apparently shot this poor young soldier, had CIA. He was a CIA, had CIA contractor ties. Okay, I mean, I've been one of the main ones that I know of doing videos trying to warn people how dangerous the CIA is. I believe this was a CIA hit, and targeting our military. And I think this needs to be declared a national emergency against the CIA. Okay, now how many videos have I put up of these CIA vehicles just openly stalking me? They have been openly stalking me, trying to murder me. I mean, I don't know what else,
Here we go. Here's the car. This Mason car that was watching me earlier. That's been outside.
Okay, I mean, I have so many videos. Here's a CIA vehicle.
CIA people.
Okay, they're always around me, watching
stalking
me.
here again today.
They stalked me right at the VA. They stalked me right at the VA. They are targeting military. They're targeting veterans. This is a national emergency, and my heart goes out to the family of this poor girl. And this should not have happened because I have been trying to warn people how dangerous this agency is for months, for years on my channel. There has to. I don't believe there's any real CIA left. I think the one good CIA person that was trying to speak out is Robert David Steele, and he was murdered. Benjamin Fulford, he admits that he was, and I believe what happened is I believe that he was tricked into thinking that he was talking to some white hats and that they were gonna put him in hiding or something. And then I think he got tricked into saying, "Hey, but we're gonna need to fake your death," because the last picture you saw of him was this COVID mask, and I think he was tricked into thinking he was talking to white hats and that they were gonna hide him, put him in hiding. But I believe he was actually murdered, and so does Benjamin Fulford. Also said that same thing. Okay, so I mean, I have these people after me, all over my channel. I mean, these are dangerous people. But the other dangerous thing is that the state police are working with the CIA in Minnesota. The CIA is involved in the fraud here, and the state police are involved. The state police put a CIA, some kind of a CIA tracking device on my vehicle, and they seem to be able to turn it on and create these lights remotely, and they can stall my vehicle remotely. So I mean, I get stalled in the middle of nowhere, and then they can come after and kill me. This is a national emergency. The state police are working with the CIA. The undercover cop that killed Melissa Hortman and the other state representative. We know that all of the I called the state police. I called one of the I forgot who I called, but this was like a couple months ago, and I said, why are we getting all these? Where did these undercover vehicles come from? And they said there's like 19% allocated undercover from the state police. So the undercover cop that killed Melissa Hortman was a vehicle from the state police. Okay, and I have state police stalking me every day, and they seem to be able to. They're the ones who seem to be able to remotely have some kind of control of this device that's on my vehicle. So I'm linking the state police with the CIA, and this is a very dangerous, and something needs to be done, and especially with what happened with this death now. And I've talked about how and I'm being targeted as a veteran, and then I've talked about how I believe there's many CIA infiltrators at the Minneapolis VA. Okay, they could very easily kill veterans there. I had a nurse almost medically kidnap me. Okay, that I don't believe is. I know it can't be a real nurse. No nurses act the way that these type of nurses act. These are very dangerous people pretending to be nurses. They're contact tracer nurses that are actually funded by the CIA. She was trying to medically kidnap me. There was security there, and they followed me out. And I just went in there I told this story. I went in there because I thought I had some food poisoning, which, I ended up treating myself anyway, and I was fine. But she said, well, she said, no, we're not going to be able to treat you here. And I was like, and then I tried to leave. And she literally tried to stop me from leaving. She followed me, and she said, well, like as if I said, well, if you're not going to treat me, I have the right to leave, ma'am. Well, if you think that it's an emergency, you have to stay, or something like that. And I was like, what? She totally freaked me out, and she followed me out the door with the security. And I said, ma'am, you already said that you're not going to treat me, so I am going to leave. And I felt like she was about to medically kidnap me. This was at the VA. This is a dangerous nurse, and there's multiple. And there's that lady up in patient advocate, Nikki, that is screwing up. Like, she's not helping any of the patient advocates. She screws up all of our community care. Doesn't help us with it. I believe that she's CIA. There was a bunch of people in the physical therapy area that were screwing up all the physical therapy. And then, now that we got the Optum, which I know Optum is a CIA company, they're screwing up all of our community care. These people are dangerous. They are the CIA. I don't believe that there's any real CIA that aren't deep state anymore. Okay, they're all deep state. The CIA has to be considered at this point. I believe that the CIA has to be considered a terrorist agency, and they need to be treated as such. And we have to shut down all of their offices. This is a national emergency. They're targeting our military now. They're openly targeting me. They have been openly targeting me. They illegally put tracking device on my vehicle. And, so I don't know, if this isn't some kind of an emergency, I don't know what is. There's nothing good about the CIA. They've been involved in all these things in the past that they've been involved in. They've been involved in all the mind control experiments that were done to people illegally without their permission. MK Ultra is the CIA. Okay, the MK Ultra, and then all the Montauk projects, and then there was all those stories, like, from what goes way back to the 50s and 60s, where they were doing experiments on people that just had maybe depression or something, and then they were doing all these. They actually gave some people LSD or different things like that without their permission in some of these facilities. That was a CIA experiment. Okay, this agency is demonic, and they're extremely dangerous, and now they're targeting veterans. So this has to be declared a national emergency against the CIA. Okay, I don't see why we need any of their offices anymore. Okay, if you don't know what the CIA is supposed to be for, you just look at the website of what their job, the only job they are supposed to be doing, that they were originally set to be doing, is be looking for national security threats. That's it. They're not even supposed to be operating at all domestically, at all. Okay, what does the CIA do? I've talked about this before. What does the CIA do? Okay, so you can just look this up. Okay, Central Agency is primarily for foreign intelligence. Okay, foreign intelligence. That means they're not even supposed to be operating here. They're supposed to collect data to prevent our country from foreign attacks. They are not supposed to be operating domestically at all. And you most certainly are not supposed to be targeting veterans. And that is what they are doing. Okay, and now they've proven they're willing to kill. I mean, these they're after every day, like almost every single day. It's a little bit better now, but like, I mean, they follow me almost every day. I mean, these are open threats against me. I'm a veteran. Okay, I don't, this has to be taken seriously. And now they've proven they're willing to kill. And they followed me right to my acupuncturist appointment. I did a video how there was a CIA person right in they followed me there. They followed me to my VA appointments at the hospital there. There's chargers right in the VA parking lot. Okay, these people are dangerous. These CIA, who do you think kills all the whistleblowers? The CIA. These are trained killers. Okay, trained assassins, and they're following me everywhere. They put a tracking device on my vehicle, and I don't know. And this has to be taken very seriously. What's going on here, and something has to be done about this agency. I don't see any use that they need to have in our country anymore. I believe that they just need to be completely eliminated. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They've been completely infiltrated with deep state instead of real CIA. I believe all the real CIA are not with us anymore. I believe they've all been replaced by these deep state agents that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. What if they were real CIA? They would be doing foreign intelligence, collecting, analyzing, disseminating vital information about foreign countries and global issues to safeguard the national security. Okay, does it look like they're doing that when they're stalking veterans, stalking me? And you got contractors now murdering a soldier? I mean, does that look like they're doing their job? No, this is a treasonous company, and they need to be treated as such. Okay, the primary purpose is supposed to be to provide objective intelligence, to the president. Okay, I mean, you're not supposed to be targeting military, and now, I mean, yeah, and then Kristi Noem apparently, just re-upped this guy's, visa to be over here or something, somebody who legally came over here to begin with, but then apparently they said, I guess you have to re-up your visa or something to stay, and I guess that was re-upped by the DHS. I mean, we know that the CIA was also involved in that I think it was a plane crash with the Russian Olympic people, if you don't remember. It was like, a year ago or something, and there was a helicopter, I believe, that hit that plane, and they, like, there was people that saw that the helicopter came right from the CIA Langley area. I mean, we know, like, that was directly linked to the CIA, that attack. There's people that talked about that on a channel. I mean, these people are killers. They're trained killers, and now they're targeting veterans. So, this has to be declared a national emergency, so no more military personnel or veterans get hurt, including myself. I'm in extreme danger, and I've been talking about how dangerous this agency on my channel for years. They have, they're still doing some stuff to my phone. They're hacking my phone. That's illegal. There's a warrantless. It's warrantless illegal surveillance, and they have to be stopped. Something has to be done. I'm very concerned about the safety of my safety, and I'm very concerned about the safety of the rest of the military and veterans. Something has to be done about this agency. Okay.